Hey, what do you say, Seattle hockey fans? Erica Lindsay Ayala, your host of Locked On Kraken, your daily dose of all things Seattle Kraken. Today, we're going to continue our exit interviews. We're going to hear from Larsson and Schwartzy. And we're actually going to start with Jayden because the National Hockey League just released when they will announce the finalists for all of the season awards. And Jayden Schwartz is up for an award. So we're going to talk about that, get a little bit into AHL news and more coming up on this episode of Locked On Kraken.
You are Locked On Kraken, your daily podcast on the Seattle Kraken, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We are the Seattle Kraken.
Welcome to another episode of Locked on Kraken. Again, I'm your host, Erica Lindsay Ayala, and it is not a Seattle Kraken game day, but it is a Seattle Storm game day. Let's go. Doppler's going to be in the house. Our very own Piper Shaw going to be in the house. Who else from Kraken Nation is rolling through Climate Pledge Arena as the Seattle Storm take on Sylvia Fowles and the Minnesota Lynx? Let's go. I'm excited. I'll be watching that. I actually have a story that's coming out for a tiny publication. Might have heard of it, the New York Times. It's going to be on Sylvia Fowles, though. There should be a piece running on Sue Bird as well. There are going to be a handful of WNBA retirements this year, including Seattle's own Sue Bird. Also, didn't get around to it, but the Sounders doing great things. On the other side of things, the Oil Reign got booted out of the Challenge Cup. Just a few rounds of Seattle sports for you. Okay. As promised, we're going to get into Jayden Schwartz. We're going to do exit interviews. You're going to hear from Schwartzy. You're going to hear from Larsson today. And we'll go over the AHL standings. The Charlotte Checkers, our AHL affiliate for this year, they had a bye. That's how we got Joy Decord. That's how we got Chalowski. But they have their opponent for the divisional semifinal. So we're going to go over that. But first, as I mentioned in the opener, May 6th, that's today, the National Hockey League will announce finalists for the 2020 NHL Awards beginning Monday, May 9th. The complete schedule, which is subject to change, listed below. I'm going to start off with the Norris Memorial, go to the Vezina, the Calder, etc., etc., etc. And I'm kind of burning through this because Seattle Kraken fans, we're going to be focused on Friday, May 20th, 2 weeks from today. We're going to get the King Clancy Memorial Trophy finalists. And in case you didn't know, our very own Jayden Schwartz has been nominated as a member of the Seattle Kraken. Each club was able to put in a player, and it was Jayden Schwartz for the Seattle Kraken. And for those who didn't know, I didn't always know, the King Clancy Memorial Trophy is presented to the player who best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice and is made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution in his community. The first place finisher will receive $25,000. That's in a donation form to benefit a charity or charities of their choice. The two runners up will receive $5,000. Same thing, to benefit a charity or charities of their choice. I, for one, am very excited to see which charities will be represented, hopefully by Jayden Schwartz and two other guys. So congratulations, Jayden. And in just a little bit, like right now, we're going to head over to Jayden. He talks about being nominated, but also talks about his injuries. We're going to pull up his stats after we hear from him, but didn't play a lot of games, had a hand injury, and then he'll talk about coming back from that hand injury and then why we didn't see him for the rest of the season. So let's go over to Jayden Schwartz.
Obviously, pretty exciting for everyone coming in here, and I think it took a little bit for our team to get to know each other, and everyone's coming to a new city, meet new people, and I thought as obviously the year went on, we got to gel a little bit more, get to know each other more, and just spend time around each other, which was fun, and but obviously it was really exciting coming here and coming to Seattle and be a part of this, and obviously not making the playoffs was was frustrating, and for me personally, not only playing 35, 38 games there was a little bit frustrating, but at the same time it was exciting coming to Seattle and being a part of this, and I think we got some good stepping stones for next year, and I think everyone just being more comfortable around each other and comfortable with the city, and I think it's going to be a fun vibe coming in next year.
Where are you at health-wise?
Obviously not that great, but doing further testing and seeing different doctors, and just trying to get as ready as I can for next year and get back to 100%. It was just it was unrelated to the hand, so it was something else, and continuing to do more tests and get back to 100%. But it wasn't my hand. Yeah, I think next year, guys, are that's our goal, to get in the playoffs, and I don't think there's any second guessing there, and obviously our team's probably going to look a little bit different with obviously free agents and guys, their contracts are up and things like that. So we're gonna have a little different group, but I think we got a lot of good pieces, and we're gonna add. And obviously, like I said, the first year didn't go as planned. Obviously Vegas coming in as an expansion team and going to the Cup final, the expectations were a little higher compared to normal expansion years, but I thought we made some really good strides, to be honest.
Oh, Captain, my alternate captain. There you heard from Jayden Schwartz talking about his time at the Seattle Kraken this year. Obviously, we're going to keep hearing it. Things didn't go as the guys wanted. You hear from Larsson talking about that. Anyway, again, it's going to be a popular theme. How are you feeling after? I'm not feeling great because we're not in the playoffs. And that hits. That definitely hits. But here are the stats for Jayden Schwartz in his career. But for the Seattle Kraken, again, 37 games. That's the fewest games that he has played, with exception of the 2015-16 season in St. Louis. If we take a look at these numbers for the Seattle Kraken, let me move it up for you so you can see. But that's 8 goals, 15 assists for 23 points overall. That negative 13. I mean, look at his other numbers. Only that 12-13 season did he have negative. But again, we're going to see those numbers for these guys in this first season. It kind of stinks, but that's how it goes. So we heard from Jayden Schwartz. I mentioned that we're going to hear from Larsson coming up next. And the reason I wanted to talk to Larsson this week is because he is going to talk about Vince Dunn, and Vince Dunn talked about working with Larsson. So Adam Larsson, Vince Dunn had a pairing up. You saw that on at the decor, and you'll hear Lars get into his philosophy. But before we get to Adam Larsson, let me tell you about Built Bar. Summer is coming, and with summer, you're going to need some food on the go. I tell you this all the time, even when it's not summer, but sure, for the summer as well. Built Bars are the perfect snack to take with you on family vacations. Just make sure you put them in the cooler. Throw them in your bags, kids' backpacks, and make sure that everyone has a bar so you're fueled for your summer adventure. They're 100% covered in chocolate. That's why I say throw them in your cooler. But have you tried the puffs yet? The protein-infused marshmallowy goodness that Built Bar has concocted. They have their 12 original flavors that you can mix and match by getting the mixed box. And all of your Built Bars, regardless of the flavor, they're going to come with... And most Built Bars, regardless of whatever flavor you go with, the double chocolate, coconut almond, raspberry, cherry barcia, you're going to get, again, a bar covered in chocolate, 130 calories, 4 net grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. So head over to the website built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, and that will get you 15% off your next order. That's right, head to built.com, use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off your next order of Built Bars. Happy snacking. As always, we want to thank you for listening to the Locked On Podcast Network, particularly watching Locked On Kraken or listening to Locked On Kraken and making us part of your daily routine. And, we want to keep the party going. We're going to talk about the one, the only Adam Larsson. And so you're getting your fix of veterans on this Friday edition of Locked On Kraken. Adam Larsson on the defense side of things. We heard from Dunn yesterday. So now let's go over to Larsson, his thoughts in his exit interview for the inaugural season with the Seattle Kraken.
It's always mixed feelings. We've had a long year emotionally, and I mean, we didn't get the result we wanted, so that was tough. But with that said, I think everybody has really enjoyed the time here and just seeing everything with the fans and how they pushed us forward all year, even on tough stretches. So, I mean, it's always tough to end the season.
How do you feel about your season? Set some career highs. I'm sure your game was cooking pretty good here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wanted to start better. I thought my Canada trip, I don't know when it was kind of tough, but I felt pretty consistent. Obviously, it's tough to feel good after a season like this, but if you're going to look at plus and minuses, you're going to just going in, how much fun we've had, and obviously the result wasn't there, but the guys have really enjoyed it, and so am I. So moving forward, I'm sure this will be a great spot. Getting to like game 60, I took a lot of pride in to finish the whole season. So I've only done it once before, so it was nice to me to get 82 in. Yeah, I mean, me and Vince have become really close, so on and off the ice. So I just try to help him as much as I can. We had a lot of veteran guys on my team when I first got into the league, and they helped me out a lot. So I think it's something that older guys should take a lot of pride in, to help younger guys coming up, and that's, yeah, it's kind of what I'm trying to do here too. Well, I mean, it's a lot of it is on ice and specific plays, and I don't know, just mentally be prepared for everything. And 82 game season is a challenging thing, and you have ups and downs, you have bad plays, but just learn how to shake it off and move on. I don't really like to talk too much what's going on after we're kind of out of it, but next year we have to bank in some wins earlier to kind of stay in the hunt and try to make a run for it. And when you're out of it too quick, it's kind of, players kind of tend to play loose, but we want to play good when it matters.
So Larsson and Dunn, quite the duo, the dynamic duo on defense. We'll take a look over at NHL.com. Take a look at Larsson's numbers for the Seattle Kraken and throughout his career. So let me get rid of this. And we see that he started off with the New Jersey Devils. Let me scroll down. Like I said, he's a veteran. So you see, again, a negative 23 3. That's brutal. 8 goals, 17 assists for Adam Larsson. You see that is in his top kind of 5 or so in his career, but, not tops when you look at he's only played 3 seasons, where he's played a full 82 game season. And one of those was with the New Jersey Devils. That was his best 82 game season. The other was with Edmonton in 2018-19, a negative 28 in that season. And then, of course, with the 21-22 Seattle Kraken. So coming up next, as I promised, we're going to talk a little bit about AHL, American Hockey League, because it's not just NHL playoffs. We'll get to that as well, but AHL playoffs. And you got to know what the Charlotte Checkers have coming up. They had a first round bye, but are getting ready to square off with the Bridgeport Islanders. All right, we'll talk about it. But first, let me tell you about Bet Online, which is your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs. Of course, that also includes this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Bet Online is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, from live betting to playoffs to esports and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. And as always, we want to thank you for listening to Locked On Kraken. You can also listen to Locked On Now, where you'll hear from experts from the Locked On NHL shows and all of our individual shows. You hear us give you breakdowns. So next week is going to be a big one because it's the lottery draft. So we might not have much to talk about this week, but next week we're going to talk about the lottery draft, third best odds to get that number one spot. So let's go Kraken. We're going to break it all down. Before we get into the AHL situation, as I was in the corner that whole time, but we're going to rock with it. So before we get into the AHL situation, though, let's talk a little bit about the NHL. We had some playoff hockey. All right. So we're going to look into what we saw there. Now, I think it's getting interesting, folks. It's getting interesting in some of these series. But yesterday we saw the Rangers get even with the Penguins. They get a 5-2 win in New York. Let's go. The Panthers also get even with the Capitals with a 5-1 victory on the road. At home. The Capitals were on the road. The Preds and the Avalanche, it's still Avalanche. They have a 2-0 lead there. Did go to overtime, though, so they have a 2-0 lead. It was a 2-1 game. The game did go to overtime, though, so it's getting exciting. It's getting exciting, folks. The Stars, they tie up their series by getting a 2-0 win last night. And so on tap tonight, Friday, May 6th, you've got the Hurricanes and the Bruins game 3. The Brew Crew is down 0-2 in that series. You've got the Maple Leafs and the Lightning tied series. You've got the Wild and the Blues knotted at 1. You've got the Oilers and the Kings. Los Kings! That's going to be 7 p.m. local time, Pacific time, I should say. Oilers and Kings all knotted at 1 game aside. So we've got some exciting things happening. But not just NHL, it's also AHL action. We've got ECHL action here in Tulsa. Is going to be the Charlotte Checkers, overall top seed in their division, against the Bridgeport Islanders. Games start on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on AHL TV. Game 1 will be Tuesday, May 10th. Game 2 will be Thursday, May 12th. And game 3 will be Saturday, May 13th. And the Saturday game is the one that Charlotte gets to host. So there you go. All right, folks, that'll just about do it for this episode of Locked on Kraken. As always, I want to thank you for making Locked on Kraken your first listen of the day. And why don't you go, make Locked On Now or Locked On Fantasy Hockey your number 2 listen. So I hope that you have a great one. Let's hold fast. Let's stay true. And your tip of the day, stay hydrated. This is actually not water right now, but I'm kind of feeling like I need to drink some water. I had my kombucha, I had my tea earlier in the day, but I'm a little bit parched. So make sure you're drinking enough water. And at a minimum level, especially if you're someone like me that works from home, you keep drinking water, you're going to have to take bathroom breaks, and it gets your body moving. It gets your body flowing. So that's all we have. Hold fast, stay true. I am your host with the absolute most of Locked on Kraken. Until Monday, I'll see ya.